Hello, I'd like to thank you for joining me and I'd like to welcome you again. This is Dr. Frank Layman, and today I want to talk to you about ascending. The legacy achievement can be stalled if you don't deliberately work on yourself. Try to advance, achieve, and ascend, and not only in the things we think of as being successful, money, resources, power. It's more about inner strength in this ability to advance. Decay is inherent in all compounded things. Strive on with diligence, says Buddha. Decay is a naturally occurring process and requires action to stall, diminish, or resolve. In our lifetime, we will have an accelerated growth and development until one day when we don't. What causes the decline is interesting to me. Why does the decline occur to so many? Yet there are those who are always growing and developing. They're always advancing. They stall the descent, extending the journey and their positive influence along with them. Harlan Sanders, Ray Kroc, Henry Ford, they were all late bloomers to success, understood that diligence makes for opportunity. We are not to just sit by idly and watch the world go by along with our life. We need to encourage in our own self the ability to keep growing, to keep advancing, to add to our skill set, to be dedicated, and to continue to advance. Think of a mountain. We're climbing a mountain. We need to ascend. Is it going to get easier as we go up? No. Is the entirety of the journey going to be easier? No. The greater the challenge we take on, the longer it's going to take to get there. And the more we need not only to do the work necessary to advance, but we also need to do the internal work to make sure we're strong enough to go on for the period of time it is required to reach the top. There are no overnight successes, and we are all fighting the process of decay. Some will choose a better path to this naturally occurring process. I strongly advocate daily self-development as a way to cope with the difficulties of life and to gain an edge. Small changes over time can lead to great achievements and advances. This is the compounding effect. I had 3 friends in high school. One had it all with an early start from his parents. He was athletic, wealthy, and intelligent. The other friend was always just there. He engaged in a way that took little thought or energy. And then there was the one who was poor, but always working hard. He dedicated himself every day. Nothing came easy. Everything was a struggle to him. But you would never tell because he had contentment. He was happy where he was, and he was also had within him a secret that he knew there were better things ahead for him. And he knew how to get there. They all made it through high school. The one with the early start went to a large school and became an average student. The complacent one went to school close to home. The hard-working guy worked hard every day. College was no different. He excelled and advanced. They all did well for themselves, but one exceeded the others. And I bet you can guess who it was. And now let me tell you why it was, and why this is profound to your own life. Large things come from small, deliberate steps made consistently over time. Change occurs, but is not instant. It takes time. To build on a large scale, we have to chip away at it deliberately. Go about it, adding to it, compounding it over the course of our lifetime. But we can't do this begrudgingly. We have to do it with a light spirit. Neglect decays things slowly over time. So the antidote, as it requires engagement, action, is needed to stop the advancement of decline. And mindfulness in this approach helps. The star athlete who is now overweight in a dead-end career, not advancing his relationships or her relationships, they peaked. They got satisfied with where they were and made no effort to continue to grow and develop. Everything is on a course to decay. The only way we can stop this is through an approach that will allow growth. It's not enough to put up a barrier and slow it down. What we want to do is turn it and use it to our advantage. Many things will come into play as to whether we can sustain growth or whether we diminish. Where we start out isn't an indicator of success. It is more about an approach and mindset of growth. Are we going to challenge ourselves every day to grow and develop? Are we going to advance in our preparation or just exist? Are we going to take deliberate steps to be and create a better future for ourselves and those who follow us? Unmanaged resources become liabilities. Even yourself. Think about the decline of health and its impact. Think about what happens when somebody's in a great deal of pain and how that changes them. Not only their outlook, but the way they interact with others, the way they see themselves. Starting on this path isn't always easy, as anyone who has ever decided to change can tell you. Everyone wants it immediately. Sometimes we gain a lot quickly and then it slows down. And this leads to frustration. Frustration really can translate to destructive thinking and behaving. That's counter to advancement. So I think in entering this, we have to have that mindset. Every day, we're going to do something positive for ourselves. And if you've read my books or listened to my other podcasts, you'll know that it's about an approach of wellness. There are various categories we want to work through every day, and we want to make a positive change in. And when we don't do those things, we're not frustrated. We don't get angry with ourselves. We don't talk negative to ourselves, which prolongs our plight. When we change our mindset, we start to change how we approach every day, and we make every day better. He who labors diligently need never despair, for all things are accompanied by diligence and labor. That's from Menander of Athens. Because of mindfulness and durability, and given enough time, we will prevail. If we don't prevail, we will improve. And trust me, in life, both of those are winning. You can be idle hoping or you can be active achieving. My hope for you, my recommendation to you is to start being active. But be active in a deliberate manner. Have an approach in mind that can help you. And I hope that some of my work will help you to get to your best personal approach. There's not only a sense of value in self-achievement, there's a happiness in being creative, in problem solving, in working and reaching a goal, especially when the goal aligns with your personal mission. So, we want to sustain ourselves every day and advance ourselves. We want to ward off decay. And as we do those things, those very things that we're doing, those are the attributes we'll gain that will advance us, that will allow us to ascend to higher heights. Don't limit yourself, and don't let anyone else do it. Become who you want to be. Know the path. And when you strike out, don't be misled by false expectations. Don't get discouraged. Problems will arise, and you'll be able to cope with those problems and make the necessary adjustments. But sitting idly by, watching your life as though you had no control over it, will not get you to where you want to be. Work on these things, and your self-efficacy will improve. And with it, you'll start to see further advancement. I want to thank you again for joining me. I hope your path leads you to where you want to go, and I hope one day our paths converge. Thank you.